You're listening to Cool FM. Cool FM is a TVH Group of Networks radio station. Sondo's greatest hits are here. You are listening to Cool FM. Live from Cool Studios. This is Cool News at 11.
Good morning and welcome to Cool News I'm sorry. No, good morning and welcome to Cool News at 11. Here are the headlines. Let me just hook up the Inquirer real quick. Of course, I forgot to connect to the VPN because I don't want to get advertisements. So bear with me for this one. Okay, there we go. We're looking good, pretty good here. Just refresh this. And we are in. All right, so now let's get into the first set of headlines. More schools in different parts of Calabarzon region suspended classes in public and private schools on Monday, July 29. At 6:10 a.m., the Office of the Civil Defense (OCD) in the region posted the list of more schools that suspended the opening of classes for the school year due to bad weather and continuous clearing operations by authorities in typhoid areas. So here are the following. For Cavite is Darnat, all levels public and private. Maragondon, all levels public and private. Nike, all levels public and private. Danza, all levels public and private. General Emilio Aguinaldo, all levels public and private. For Laguna is Binan, all levels public and private. Tabuyao, all levels public. San Pedro, all levels public and private. Calamba, all levels public and private. For Rizal is Juan Dalban, elementary to senior high school, public and private. And Pilila, all levels public and private. On Sunday night, the Department of Education in Calabarzon reported at least 66 schools in the region suspended the opening of classes after the onslaught of Typhoon Karina and the enhanced northwest monsoon. They opted to start the school year on August 5. The Office of the Solicitor General on Monday filed a petition for warrant against suspended Babang Tarlac Mayor Alice Guo before the Manila Regional Trial Court. A warrant, which literally means by what authority, is a special civil action to determine if an individual has the right to exercise or hold a public office. Here, the OSG, led by Solicitor General Menandro Guerrava, told the court that Guo is unlawfully holding the position and illegally exercising the duties and responsibilities of the office of the mayor of Bamban. She is not a Filipino citizen. She is a Chinese national, thus she is ineligible to run for any elected public office, Guerrava told reporters. The OSG added Guo has committed acts that are grounds for the forfeiture of her office. Most specifically, she has committed acts of serious dishonesty which, under the local government code, warrant her removal from office, Guerrava said. Guo's name was dragged into the investigation involving operations of the Philippine offshore gaming operators Pogo after authorities discovered documents showing that electric meter of Yuzuan Technology, the Pogo hub in her area, was registered under her name. A sports utility vehicle registered under Guo's name was also found in the area. Vice President Sara Duterte called the removal of her 75 police security as a clear case of political harassment. In a four-page open letter posted on her official Facebook page, Duterte slammed Philippine National Police Chief Romel Marbel for his alleged ties concerning the withdrawal of her police protection detail. According to the vice president, her PNP security was pulled out immediately after she resigned from President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s cabinet, her comment on his State of the Nation address, and after a video showing Marcos allegedly using illegal drugs rather, service online. The relief of the PNP personnel came after I resigned from DepEd, after I compared the Sonon to a catastrophic event, and after the cocaine video came out, said Duterte. Let us spare our people from all the lies. Let us call it what it is, a clear case of political harassment, said Duterte. In the same public letter, Duterte refuted several of PNP Chief Marbel's claim about the withdrawal of her police security, pointing out that no official request was made to the Office of the Vice President regarding the withdrawal of her security personal protection detail, contrary to Marbel's assertions. She further noted that, opposite to what Marbel said, that there was no threat against her, a footage of her and her family leaving the country was publicized, and that police officers recently attempted to case her residence where her kids also live. What does threat mean to you? Can the threat only come from external elements? Isn't it a threat if the harassment comes from government personnel? The vice president asked. She then asked why Marble left 45 PNP personnel that he personally selected for her if there was indeed no threat against her. She then told Marble to expect a letter about the return of the 45 police officers to the PNP. Remember, when it comes to my family's security, I give the state who is worthy, not you. You are just below, not God. She also contradicted Marbel's statement that the vice president's PNP security were removed for the sake of police visibility, underscoring that 38 of the 75 PNP personnel covered by the relief order that were police officers from Mindanao being transferred to Metro Manila, as if there is no police shortage in Mindanao. If you can put my security in jeopardy, I am worried about the kind of harassment you can do to the common people, just like the implementation of ordinary citizens for the service of the arrest warrant for Pastor Kipolan in Davao City recently, she further said. Inquiry Donald has already asked the PNP for Marlborough's response to Duterte letter, but has yet to receive a response as of posting. The Philippine National Police will dispatch over 33,000 personnel across the country to secure this year's opening of classes. In a statement on Monday, PNP said 33,286 personnel will be deployed for the safety of students, teachers, and parents. The safety of our children as they return to school is our utmost priority. We encourage everyone to cooperate and report any suspicious activities to the nearest PAD or local authorities, PNP Chief General Romel Marbel said. For emergency purposes and other safety concerns, Marble said police assistance desks will be set up in schools. At the same time, foot and mobile patrols will be conducted around school premises to deter criminal activities and ensure prompt responses to any incidents. PNP also said it would monitor areas affected by Karina, specifically around 842 schools that postponed the start of their classes due to the effects of the typhoon. The PNP participated in the Brigada Escuela Kilitang Intuitive, especially in areas affected by the calamity. The Department of Education said a total of 19,268,747 students enrolled in public and private schools, alternative learning systems, and state universities and colleges as of 9 a.m. on July 28. Of this figure, 10,487,481 are elementary students, 5,851,382 are in junior high school, and 2,724,052 are in senior high school. A fire hit a portion of Lucky Chinatown Mall in Binondo, Manila on Monday morning, the Bureau of Fire Protection said. In an initial report, the fire authorities said the blaze started in the museum on the mall's fourth floor at 7:30 a.m. and reached the first alarm by 7:29 a.m. The PFP said the fire was declared under control around 8:37 a.m. No other details were available as of Friday. At least 5 trucks and an ambulance have been deployed to the site to help extinguish the blaze and attend to medical emergencies. And former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque was the latest addition to the growing list of resource persons invited to the Senate's probe into the proliferation of Philippine offshore gaming operators in the country. Roque personally appeared before the Senate Committee on Women's Public Inquiry on Monday to explain his side of the story. Before the proceedings, the former cabinet official told Inquiry.net in a text message that he plans to reveal just the truth surrounding Pogos. Roque did not elaborate further. Roque's name was dragged into the Pogo match after Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation Court Chief Alejandro Tanco mentioned his name as an alleged lawyer of offshore gaming operator Lucky Star 99. Roque, however, denied he was a lawyer of Lucky Star 99, clarifying that his client was Wellwood Corporation, a service provider to Lucky Star 99, which was then a holder of a valid license from Pogo. For his part, Senate President Francis Chis Escudero said he's hoping that Roque would attend the hearing, stressing that anyone accused of anything has a right to face his accuser and air his side. I believe these are serious allegations which Secretary Roque should clarify, and I believe that the committee will most likely invite him to get his side on this matter or issue, as Escudero said previously. All right, it is now 11:11 in the morning, and koolNews at 11 will be right back. Stick around. welcome back to Cool News. Why can I keep saying that one? But yeah, welcome back to Cool News at 11. Now let's continue with the headlines. The number of people who died due to the combined effects of Typhoon Karina, the Southwest Monsoon, locally called Hapagat, and Tropical Depression Bujoy has reached 36. This figure comes from the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council. Based on its 8 a.m. bulletin on Monday, the NDRRMC said of the 36, it has confirmed the death of 14 people. The council is still validating reports on the death of the 22 others. Meanwhile, 6 were reported injured, while 3 remain missing. Additionally, the agency said the number of affected individuals also rose from 3.6 million to 4.5 million, or 1.2 million families. The most number of affected persons are in Central Luzon at over 2.8 million, followed by the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Luzon, Mindanao at more than 552,000 and more than 341,000 in Ilos region. Of the 4.5 million, a total of over 794,000 were displaced, with more than 152,000 staying inside evacuation centers, while over 641,000 took shelter elsewhere. Aside from these numbers, more than 20,000 farmers and fisher folks were affected by the calamities. The disasters damaged over 355 million pesos worth of produce in the crop sector. So far, the government has distributed more than 3.4 billion pesos worth of assistance from various national agencies, the NDRMC said. And now let's get into the international headlines as millions of Venezuelans turned out Sunday to vote in the fraud presidential election with socialist incumbent Nicolas Maduro facing the biggest challenge yet to his party's 25-year hold on power. Maduro, age 61, is seeking a third 6-year term at the helm of the once healthy, wealthy petrol state where GDP dropped by 80% in the decade on his watch, pushing more than 7 million of its 30 million citizens to immigrate. In office since 2013, he is accused of locking up critics and harassing the opposition in a climate of rising tourism. Independent polls suggest Sunday's poll could bring an end to 25 years of Chavismo, the populist movement funded by Maduro's socialist predecessor and mentor, Felix Gujo Chavez. But analysts say the president is unlikely to concede defeat to opposition challenger Edmundo Gonzalez Urrutia, who is favored to win by a wide margin. We're praying that they don't steal the election. They always have. Voter Martires Enriquez, age 68, told AFP in the Caracas ahead of the vote. And if they do, well, we have to go out on the street for my vote, for my children, two of whom live abroad along 6 of her grandchildren. Maduro, who had previously warned of a bloodbath if he loses, said Sunday he would make sure the final result from the Régimen aligned CNE electoral authority is defended. CNE chief Alves Armoso nevertheless described the opposition as enemies of Venezuela. Based on its own numbers, the Régimen insists it will prevail over González Orodia, a 74-year-old former Democrat reluctantly thrust to the top of the opposition ticket after the movement's widely popular leader Maria Corina Machado was disqualified. Maduro counts on a local electoral machinery, military leadership, and state institutions in a system of well-established political patronage. González Urrutia said Sunday the opposition was prepared to defend the vote and trusted our armed forces to respect the decision of our people. Machado cited figures showing that more than 9 million people had voted by lunchtime, suggesting a possibly historic turnout. Polls officially closed after 12 hours of voting at 6 p.m., while people still in line will be allowed to cast their ballots. AFP witnessed long queues hours before polls opened. Analysts told AFP a large turnout would benefit the opposition and make it harder to fudge the figures, as the Maduro government has been accused of doing in the past. Sunday's election is the product of a deal reached last year between the government and opposition with the backing of the United States, which temporarily eased sanctions imposed after Maduro's 2018 election was rejected as a sham by most Western and Latin American countries. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken on Sunday urged everyone involved to respect the democratic process and said the international community was going to be watching this very closely. Washington is keen for a return to stability in Venezuela, an ally of Cuba, Russia, and China that lost the world's largest oil reserves but severely diminished production capacity. And the economic mystery in this South American nation has been a major source of migration pressure on the U.S. southern border. It's clear that if Maduro grabs power by force or with violence, we would see an even greater wave in a very short period of time. 3, 4, 5 million Venezuelans more leaving, Machado said after casting her vote in Caracas. What's at stake here goes beyond borders, beyond Venezuela, she added. Most Venezuelans live on just a few dollars a month, with the country's healthcare and education systems in disrepair and the population subject to biting shortages and electricity and fuel. The government blames sanctions, but observers point the finger at corruption and government inefficiency. On Friday, a Venezuelan NGO said Caracas was holding 305 political prisoners and had arrested 135 people with links to the opposition campaign since January. Concerns for the fairness of the vote were further stroked when Caracas blocked international observers at the last minute, including four Latin American ex-presidents who had their plane held up in Panama on Friday. Observers from the European Union had their invitation withdrawn weeks ago. A small delegation from the US-based Charter Center has been allowed in, as well as a UN expert panel that will issue a confidential report. About 41 million Venezuelans are registered as voters, but only an estimated 70 million still in the country were eligible to cast a ballot. And finally, in showbiz entertainment news, thousands of Taylor Swift fans have gotten free seats at her concerts in Munich on a grassy hill near the Concert Avenue. The Swifties packed the Olympic Hill, or Olympiaberg, one of the highest elevations in the southern German city, for their second straight day Sunday. That gave them a high perch for watching the singer's sold-out concert in the nearby Olympic Stadium. On Saturday, they braved the heat, which reached 31 Celsius or 88 Fahrenheit, and claimed the response hours before the concert began. Police estimated that about 25,000 people gathered on the hill on Saturday, according to the DPA news agency. On Sunday, fans returned once again, packing the grassy hill with so many people that the scene looked like an anthill from a distance. Rather than discourage the free viewing, the concert organizer handed out water and emergency blankets to those waiting to protect themselves from the sun, DPA reported. Sunday's concert is Swift's last in Germany as part of her Eras tour. She heads next to the Polish capital, Warsaw, for 3 concerts this coming week from Thursday through Saturday. And that is it for koolNews at 11. As always, you can get in touch with us at tvh.philippines.news@gmail.com. And we will be back with more headlines later with koolNews at noon, koolNews at 6, and koolNews Prime Time at 9. Remember, we will not be having a 4 p.m. newscast since I will be outside going to the mall, so don't expect the news 4 p.m. news later. With that, I am Cairo, and we will see you later for more headlines at noon. Goodbye for now, and good morning.